Boys and girls, it's Championship Friday. AEW presented Beach Break Championship Friday, and SmackDown presented another piss poor show right before the Royal Rumble. Sasha Banks made her return tonight, which seems great in the grand scheme of things, but it looks like we could have had a great surprise at the Rumble, and WWE just chooses to not allow us to have a nice thing in our life. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had a good segment right before their match at the Royal Rumble takes place for the Universal Championship. But other than that, there was really not much exciting things on the show. Championship Friday had two championship matches for the TBS Championship. Well, I know you loved that one, and the not Impact. There's something going on with Impact, but we'll save that for another day. And the AEW Tag Team titles between Jurassic Express and Private Party. Those two are some of the two youngest tag teams in this company right now, and they had an amazing main event. But with all that being said, we will go over everything that happened tonight on those two shows. This is the wrestling podcast. This is the best wrestling podcast here on YouTube for your TikTok community, and this is the only place where you should be on a Friday night. This is Outside the Brand. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. It is Friday. You know what that means. It's time for another episode of Outside the Brand, where we do a full show review of Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage. This is the AEW Rampage Beach Break Championship Friday edition for your January 28th, 2022. I am your host, Phil. I am joined by my good friend, Loff. And this is Outside the Brand. Loff, how are you doing on this Friday evening, my good sir?
I am very excited for the Royal Rumble. Hello, everyone. I hope y'all had a good night tonight. I hope you had a good day and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble. I didn't think I would be this excited, but now it's like the butterflies feeling is coming back from when I was younger. Yeah, I know it's going to go away once something bad happens tomorrow, but for right now, everything is good. So I'm just trying.
Yeah, Sasha Banks as her profile picture.
Oh my God. I jumped out of the seat, bro. But the only thing, I wish it happened tomorrow. I wish
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It should have been saved. It really should have been saved for a surprise return at the Rumble.
Imagine if she came out number 30, bro.
The crowd pop would have just been the thing alone. But her involvement for the Royal Rumble makes the Women's Royal Rumble that much more interesting, that much more unpredictable. We will definitely go over everything when it comes to that in just a quick second. I actually did miss the first 20 minutes of the show tonight because I was in the grocery store. I was actually in two grocery stores, considering there is a big snowstorm heading straight for Connecticut, a big nor'easter that is going to be striking the state of Connecticut. Thank you so much, Nate, for sending that snow my way to Connecticut.
Me too. It's mad white outside.
See, I mean, it's absolutely crazy out here. Green Bay, Wisconsin, just doing some crazy things for the weather of the United States. But so I missed the first 20 minutes of the show. I know that's when Sasha came back. Listen, I can probably just look it up on YouTube. They probably already got it up by now. She said she was ready. She said that she was ready to Rumble, and that pretty much all but confirms her spot in the Women's Royal Rumble match. So yeah, we got all that taken care of. We're all still going to be watching the Rumble tomorrow. Even if there's a nor'easter heading our way, it's still going to be a thing, and we're still going to be watching the show. Sasha Banks made her return tonight, which, like I said, pretty much all but confirms her spot into the Royal Rumble. pretty much when it comes to her injury and everything, everybody thought that she was just going to miss the show, but obviously she was there. She was ready to go, and her involvement is pretty clear up until this point. I honestly think that it should have been saved for a big pop when it comes to the crowd of St. Louis, Missouri, but I don't know anything, right? I'm just a big mark when it comes to professional wrestling, so I don't know when big pops in return should happen, really. But in all honesty, though, I think it honestly should have been saved.
Yeah, no, as happy as I was, as soon as I sat back down, I was like, damn, I would be freaking out right now. This was at the Rumble, but I mean, anything to stop Ronda Rousey from winning. I mean,
I'm just proud that she's back, because when she's back now, like you said, that all but proves, it doesn't prove anything about Ronda, but it kind of lessens her chances.
Yeah.
If she doesn't win the Rumble, though, I wouldn't be shocked if she was in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I'm worried about how the Chamber's gonna go, just because I feel like they're gonna change something, because they've been changing stuff a lot these past few months. So I mean, I don't know how I feel like the Elimination Chamber is pretty cut and dry when it's about the rules and shit. But I mean, with this company, anything can happen.
Because I feel like if Ronda's not going to be able to win the Rumble, I mean, I feel like Becky and Ronda's all but confirmed for WrestleMania this year. I really do believe that. So if she's not winning the Rumble, she's winning the Elimination Chamber. But if that's happening, we got to figure out the right people that she can beat. We got to figure out like actually 6 credible challengers for Becky Lynch in the Raw Women's Championship. And it's all but confirmed. But like when we have a SmackDown person winning the Rumble, Raw should get the Chamber. Or if it's a Raw person getting the Rumble this year, the SmackDown should have the Chamber. It should be that way, but in all honesty, WWE doesn't know how to book it like that, so we'll figure out how things go on.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, man.
So, Sasha Banks, all but confirmed for the Rumble. It really makes it that much more unpredictable, as we will be doing our Royal Rumble predictions tomorrow, afternoon at 2 p.m. our time, 12 noon for Megan, as she will be joining us for that show. And that is confirmed. So we will be doing that tomorrow, right before the Rumble, so stay tuned for that. Roman and Seth had a good segment just 3 weeks in their little 3-week feud before tomorrow's match for the Universal Championship. This feud was all built for 3 weeks. It's been an okay 3 weeks. I mean, they obviously have some kind of story going on with the whole Seth Rollins always being able to beat Roman Reigns and always bringing up like the Shield kind of thing and everything. They brought up the Shield in a good way tonight, which honestly got Roman Reigns a little bit pissed off. What was he? His mic skills a little bit weak in a way? It kind of, but that's always Roman's kind of that's always kind of Roman's weak point, so to speak, as it is his mic skills. That's why I kind of liked him being with Paul so much. But we're getting this match. We'll go over everything that happened in that main event segment tonight. But we're getting that Universal Championship match, whether anybody likes it or not. And there could be a good, strong chance that Roman cannot be Universal Champion anymore.
I hope so. I really hope so, man.
I hope not, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we're getting that match tomorrow for the Universal Championship, and yeah, so we'll go over everything that happened on Friday Night SmackDown tonight. But on the AEW Rampage side of things, we had a good show. We had a great tag team main event between Jurassic Express and Private Party. Private Party should not be with Matt Hardy and the Hardy family office right now, but they're there, and we're just waiting for something to happen with that tag team. Because honestly, Private Party is a really good tag team. They're young, they're up and coming, and they really do deserve some kind of opportunity and chance to, be something in this company. They are the number one ranked tag team in this company for a reason. That's why they got the tag team title match tonight in the main event. Did you know about that, Law? Did you know they're in the number one ranked tag team?
I know now.
There you go. But that's why they got the championship match tonight on AEW Rampage. I spoke about this ad nauseum, and Woff, you've been known to mention this as well. The AEW ranking system, when it comes to championship matches and everything like that, it works well, and that is why we have championship matches like this tonight on Rampage. It makes sense heading into things when it comes to the nearest pay-per-view, which is AEW Revolution in the first weekend of March. You gotta have some championship matches in between. Then you gotta have some good and big shows for that. Championship Friday was a good way to do it.
I went in and out of watching the show. I made sure I knew what was happening, but I was doing like two different things at once. But from what I did see, it was a regular AEW show. For me, it takes a lot for me to be freaking entertained with this show. I still feel like Dynamite was fucking awesome with the opening match and main event for that show.
Yeah.
But as long as Jade Cargill won, I was fine. I wish I would have watched that match. I saw her going against Julia Hart, and I did not watch it yet.
She's 26-0. That's all you need to know.
That's great.
So speaking of Jade Cargill continues her undefeated streak at 26-0. Very impressive showing for Jade Cargill. She kind of went the easy way out, so to speak, though, considering her opponent really technically only does have one eye in kayfabe. Her wearing the eye patch and everything, thanks to Malachi Black, spitting the black mist into Julia Hart's eyes a couple of weeks ago. Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison were with her on the outside tonight, but just trying to support their girl, But in the end, Jade Cargill way too overpowering for Julia Hart's own good, and she retains the TBS championship on TNT. Kind of weird saying that in a way, but hey, they're both run by Warner, so that's why everything is the way they are. Moxley performed very well in his match against Anthony Bowens tonight in his home state of Ohio, and FTR impressed against the team of my boy Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson. So it was honestly a really good show. Just a good, fun, fast-paced hour of professional wrestling right after SmackDown. And hey, that's what we get every single time when it comes to Rampage. A good hour of television, but it's just taped. And that's my criticism every single time when it comes to Rampage. If it was not taped, I bet things would be a lot better. Plus, obviously, the time frame of everything, too. From 10 to 11, not a lot of people are going to be doing that.
Yeah.
But it was a good hour of television, and that's what matters. When it comes to a good hour of professional wrestling, that's all I could really care about. Just wish it was at a better time, dude. I really do.
Yeah.
A good Saturday night wrestling show at 8 o'clock to 9 would be perfect for me. Really would. It would bring back that old school style of professional wrestling back on the weekends, like how it used to be. But hey, that's up to Tony Khan and up to the network's decision at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I said, guys, we'll go over everything that happened tonight on Friday Night SmackDown and on AEW Rampage. It's Royal Rumble weekend, guys, and yeah, it's gonna be a good, fun weekend. So strap in, because it's gonna be a bumpy bumpy ride. Trust me, because it's WWE. We'll figure it out as we go along. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand tonight. I want you guys to try to follow us on social medias. All of our TikTok links are down in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter at PhillyMatt_. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And that's also on TikTok. I got all of that for you guys right there. All one Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok handle. That way you guys can easily find me. Continue to hit that subscribe button down below as we are on the road to 500 subscribers. I don't want you guys to forget to turn on that notification bell. That way you never miss when we go live. Also, please don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. Loft, I have a question for you. What color does that like button turn when you click it?
I believe it's blue.
It is blue. It is blue. We all like the color blue, don't we?
All right. Sasha Banks.
We all like to. Exactly. Sasha Banks' hair. We all love the color blue. We all love the color of SmackDown. We all love that color that was on your screen right now for that blue SmackDown background. So let's do it. Click that thumbs up button. And yeah, let's do it. Let's get this stream to 12 likes tonight, guys. That's the minimum I want to see for the like goal for tonight's stream right here on the podcast. Make sure you go to bonfire.com when everything is live for bonfire.com. That's the official home of Outside the Brand merchandise. All the merch you need is going to be right there waiting for you guys when it is all said and done. Waf, I can't wait for your stuff to get on there, man. It's absolutely going to be amazing. It's absolutely going to be great to see. That is the official home of Outside the Brand merchandise. And man, when that store is ready for you guys, when everybody has their stuff up, man, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good shop to go to, guys. So make sure to go to bonfire.com for all of the official Outside the Brand merchandise. Let's get right into it, guys. Finally, before we actually get into Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, I want to thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys have had shown us here on the podcast. We continue to grow each and every day, and we could not do this without y'all. It's a big week for OTB when it comes to the Royal Rumble, and you guys continue to show all the love and support. We truly appreciate it. It's a great time to be a professional wrestling fan. We're on the road to WrestleMania off. It's a good time.
Yeah.
All the love and support is greatly appreciated. So let's get right into it, guys. It's Friday Night SmackDown. It's AEW Rampage Beach Break Championship Friday. So let's get right into the show. We're going to be doing Friday Night SmackDown first, considering that is this is the final show before the Royal Rumble. First, I just got a notification that interesting names were backstage tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. According to PW Insider, oh gosh, Jesus, okay, damn, Tommaso Ciampa was backstage tonight.
Uh-oh.
Did he get used? Probably not. He was not on SmackDown. Tommaso Ciampa was backstage at the T-Mobile Center. So he was backstage. Kevin Owens, who worked together with Seth Rollins last week against the Usos, was also backstage. So Kevin Owens was not used on the show tonight. King was also reported to return for tonight's show, but obviously that did not happen as Kofi Kingston teamed up with Big E in the final match of the show. And also we know that Ridge Holland did return in a ridiculous black mask, but we will get right into that in just a little bit. Tommaso Ciampa was backstage tonight on the show. Did not know that up until now.
Threw me off. I didn't expect him to do.
He was probably on a dark match or something.
Yeah.
Unless you guys unless there's nothing else that is just really groundbreaking for news, I think we can actually get onto the show.
They didn't reveal any more people in the Rumble yet.
No, I mean there are some news about people that are going to be in St. Louis, but I'm gonna let that be. I'm gonna let you guys be surprised because there are some pretty cool names. LA Knight for a WWE main roster call-up. This is something new. I didn't see. LA Knight entered NXT from Impact Wrestling, where he was known as Eli Drake, as everybody knows. Well, if you're, I'm pretty sure you're aware of the Eli Drake version of LA Knight from Impact.
Yes.
He was like, dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it when he did the dummy, yeah, man. I wish he did it more on NXT. I think that would have been so good.
He's
or at
starting
least
to
just bring back the yeah. Just bring back the yeah.
He said he on the backstage segment with the Dirty Dogs.
Yeah. I love the stuff that Eli Drake / LA Knight used to do. Knight made an appearance on Main Event, and he was also featured in a backstage video. It seems that he could have a ready-made rivalry for his call-up. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer mentioned that LA Knight is being heavily considered for a call-up sometime soon in the spring. The 39-year-old is someone who WWE officials are very high on right now, and that is a good thing. Obviously, I honestly think LA Knight should have been called up way before anything. I honestly think he should have been called up during the draft. I think that would have been a perfect way to get him up here on the main roster, but no, they chose to do Ridge Holland instead, which I thought was a major reach. What do you think of LA Knight? Do you think he's ready?
Yeah, he's more than ready. It's annoying me that he keeps running laps in NXT. You know, I think SmackDown needs another prominent figure. I would love for him to be a face though, because I feel like this company is very heel heavy right now.
Right.
So if he's more like a brash face kind of guy, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't bring him on SmackDown.
He'd be perfect in that Intercontinental Championship type thing. He really would.
Yeah.
So this is a quote from Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer newsletter. There is also talk about of putting more Raw and SmackDown talent on NXT to build the ratings, like what they did with Styles. Even though he's 39, company officials are very high right now on LA Knight, and as of a few weeks ago, he was slated to have a main roster spot in the spring after WrestleMania. That Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania, dude, I'd love it. Or considering that there's 8 spots in the Rumble still,
you
can have a main roster call-up right there. They've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to come to the conclusion for Knight. He is ready for the main roster and is working to help younger talent in NXT 2.0. Is not what he is really signed up for. We'll have to wait and see what happens next, because a few things can happen once Vince gets his eyes on somebody during main event. So I mean, listen, it's all up to Vince and Bruce. But considering Vince and Bruce are also running NXT, I mean, maybe things could be different. They obviously some good things happening with him on NXT 2.0. Maybe something could happen when it comes to him on the main roster. He does fill that too old stigma though that Vince and Bruce do have. He is 39 years old. Obviously 39 is not old. I'm not saying that, but in the eyes of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, when you're at the 37 to 39 range of professional wrestling for your age, people have been let go because of that. I would never want that, obviously, but there's still something to monitor because he falls right into that line, and I would never want anything like that to happen to LA Knight, especially him.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing to deal with because you really want him to. If he's gonna go, you want him to be successful. So I hope they don't carry and cross him. I hope they don't put a mask on.
Exactly. That's
Give him
exactly what I was referencing too.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross fell into, I believe he also falls into that range, which is why bad things happen to him as well. I honestly, speaking of Karrion Kross, man, I honestly don't know where the heck he's going to show up next. Seriously, he's 36. I mean, which still technically falls under that. I honestly have no idea where Karrion Kross is going to go. Obviously, he's still waiting for his 90-day no-compete clause to end. But it, he was already there in Impact. He already did his thing in New Japan. He kind of made his name in Lucha Underground, but Lucha Underground's not really a thing anymore. AEW has been going crazy as of late. We just got a debut in Danhausen. I mean, I got no idea where Karrion could go.
It's gonna be something to watch. I part of me wants him to go to somewhere where they need him to like bring people in, but at the same time, I want him to go somewhere where they would actually benefit from his like original character. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what direction you really go with him because I feel like he's had a lot of good and a lot of bad. Not really his fault, but when people look at the reputation, that's what it is, unfortunately. So you have to kind of weigh both options when you're looking at where you want him to go and what you want him to do when he gets to that place. You know what I'm saying? So,
and for the love of God, wherever he goes, please let him and Scarlett be together, please.
Yeah.
Scarlett's like some of the best stuff that's about Karrion Kross or Killer Kross now. She was so good with him, and then when obviously they took her away, obviously at one point it was actually due to medical reasons. If you guys don't know the medical reasons, it's out now. Scarlett did actually reveal what the heck went down on Renee Paquette's podcast, Oral Sessions with Renee Paquette. I'm obviously going to let her do the speaking for her. That's obviously her story, and she knows the reason why everything went down. But yeah, she revealed what happened, and then as soon as everything kind of got better when it comes to her medical situation, that's when kind of everything went downhill for Karrion on the main roster, and that's kind of when the call happened, and they were honestly kind of just waiting for her to get the call too, because Karrion's like, listen, if I get the call, you better get the call too, because it would suck if we have to do separate things when it comes to both of our professional careers. So when she did get the call, they were kind of happy in a way, but you never want to truly lose your job, especially for a company like WWE, it's obviously a big market, and it was their dream to be there until everything kind of went down south. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's actually the main news portion here on the show. There's nothing else truly big else to talk about other than some names that are going to be in St. Louis, but we'll save that for the actual Rumble so we can all at least have something to be excited for, considering they kind of, announced 2/3 of both Rumbles this year. But we'll see what happens. We started off the show tonight for Friday Night SmackDown with the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. I'm actually kind of happy that I missed the first 20 minutes of the show if we started off with Charlotte.
Okay.
So Charlotte says that Kansas City fans aren't the only ones who will be disappointed on Sunday, considering that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals play for the AFC Championship game this Sunday to see who goes to the Super Bowl. And that her 29 other competitors in the Royal Rumble match will be disappointed as well. Charlotte says that she did not have to enter the Royal Rumble match. She could have just cruised her way to WrestleMania, but that's not the type of champion that she is. Okay, Charlotte, sure. Sure thing, hon. Sure thing. Charlotte is interrupted by Shayna Baszler, who has her music changed now, which is fucking dumb.
Like, who the hell is that?
What is it? Like, what's the kind of like tone of it?
It sounds like SmackDown versus Raw generic rock 4.
Oh, great. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Everybody that has a CFO money theme is gonna get their thing changed. Mm-hmm. I was on live tonight, and everybody was asking, why the heck does WWE just keep doing this? Why do they keep doing why the heck do they keep changing themes when obviously it should not be happening this much? I'm like, first of all, CFO Money was the music producer for WWE. And obviously, Jimmy Johnson, who produced tracks like for The Undertaker and so many others, also left WWE. I don't know the actual extent of that. I don't know if their contracts just completely expired or what have you, but they left and they're no longer a part of the company. So anybody that has a Jimmy Johnson or a CFO Money theme at that time has to have their music changed. And I know that sucks. And I know, I'm just going to say it again. I know that sucks, but that's just the nature of the business. And that's how everything happens in WWE. If you're not a part of the company anymore when it comes to music production or anything of that, it has to be changed. And I hate it. I really do. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah, they gotta fix that sooner or later, because oh my god, it's getting bad. I thought it was bad when they changed Liv's music, and then it's progressively getting worse.
They changed Liv's like 5 times.
Yeah. little slight changes, and then they just pushed all forward with the new, and now it just the first 3 seconds is the same, and then everything is just terrible. They changed Dewdrop's music. She doesn't even have the CFO Money. I don't think they just changed it.
No, yeah. So I got no idea. So Charlotte is interrupted by Shayna Baszler coming down to the ring. Baszler says that she will not hesitate to snap Charlotte like a twig Saturday night, and that she will eliminate Charlotte. She will not hesitate to challenge Charlotte at WrestleMania either. Out comes Aaliyah to interrupt and talk about how happy she is to just be in the Rumble, to which Charlotte tells her that she has 0 chance of winning. Then Natalya comes out to the ring to confront Aaliyah and claim that she will win the Royal Rumble. Then Shotzi comes out. Jesus Christ, this must have been a fucking train wreck. Shotzi comes out.
It wasn't terrible. Huh? It wasn't that bad.
Everybody's just coming out like this.
They were the whole roster. So I was like, okay, well, as well just do the whole thing then.
So Shotzi comes out to the ring and says that she will seize the spotlight and win the Rumble with all the women in the ring. Charlotte says that nobody that is out there with the champion belongs in the ring with her right now, and making her return is Sasha Banks, who walks out to the ring. The boss is back. I guarantee you Michael Cole was fucking crazy. There were probably voice cracks and everything. Pat McAfee was probably having voice cracks and everything too, probably dancing, thrusting on the table and everything like that. I really wish I could have been there to see Pat McAfee's reaction, because Pat McAfee is one of the greatest of all time to ever do this thing. Like, he is absolutely insane. How were these two reactions when Sasha came out?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't hear much of it because I was screaming myself. So I
He
mean,
was screaming yourself. Okay, yep, that makes sense.
I was too happy.
I'm pretty sure what I was describing is almost exactly what happened too. I mean, especially for Pat McAfee, because he just goes nuts every single time. He goes nuts if there's a power slam. So if anything happened, it happened. Sasha stands right across from Charlotte and slaps Charlotte right across the face. Sasha then exits the ring as the remaining superstars in the ring just start doing this brawl like what the Royal Rumble is most likely going to be. As Sasha watches from the ring apron. Eventually, Charlotte then ends up the last wrestler in the ring, and Sasha then returns back inside the ring to throw Charlotte over the top rope and stand alone in the ring. There's this age-old saying, dude, and I'm going to tell you this right now, and I would never want this to happen, but normally when somebody stands tall the night before a show or the go-home show of a pay-per-view, and I'm not calling it the premium live event or whatever the fuck they're calling it now. It's a pay-per-view. They lose.
Yeah.
I would never want that. I fucking love Sasha Banks. I think we all love Sasha Banks here. But yeah, it's just the nature of the beast. When you're standing tall on the go-home show, you can lose that next morning or that next night or show or what have you.
Pretty much.
But hey, Sasha Banks is back. That's all that matters. We fucking love her here, and let's get things on the right track for the women's division when it comes to a Royal Rumble. Because trust me, the women's division fucking needs her right now. And honestly, Sasha Banks was poorly missed on this show. I'm just glad that she's back.
Yeah, I was very happy. And then I told you earlier, as soon as I sat back down, I was like, yeah, if this was on Saturday night, I would be a lot more happy right now. But I mean,
Right.
At least she's here. At least she's freaking healthy. This was one of those things I just did not expect at all. Like a lot of these returns that we've heard over the past few months, we hear like the whispers and stuff, like, oh, they're backstage, they might come out. I had no idea she was even there. So
there was nothing that came out. Nothing.
Yeah. That was great.
Which honestly is great. If stuff like that does not get leaked out, that makes the moment all that more special. I just wish it happened at Rumble. I just
yeah.
That's the only thing that I have something wrong with this segment is that this should have happened at the Rumble. And you could have had that face-off between the champion and Sasha Banks in the Rumble, because we all know Charlotte would have been there.
Yeah.
I want to have Sasha return during, not smack dab in the middle of the Rumble, but somewhere in between the 10 to 20 range. Have her return right in there, and obviously Charlotte would still be there. You could have had that moment right there.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. Sasha back, and that's all that matters. Now I just want Bayley.
Hopefully.
Now I just want Bayley, dude. Before everything with Sasha came out, for me it was Bayley or bust. But now with everything that's going on with the possibility of Ronda being back, all of these returns and everything, I highly doubt Mickie James has a chance. But with the Mickie James stuff going on, Bianca Belair is staking her claim to become a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Not only just a 2-time, but back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. The Liv Morgan situation, the Naomi situation. There's actually a lot of ways WWE can go with this now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I admit, I said that video all those weeks ago when WWE just announced 20 people, and obviously the surprise Legends announcements for the Rumble. I'm not going to take that back because what I said is there and what I said is always going to be there. and I never liked it, and I've never liked it when WWE just like announced these surprise returns anyway. So my decision still stands. I hated the way they actually just announced them this year, but I take the stuff back about when I said that this could be a bad Royal Rumble with everything going on with Ronda, Sasha, Naomi, Liv, obviously the actual people being back, and obviously people more being back. This could be a good rumble. This could be a good rumble. I'll take that part back, and I'll take that one on the chin. I spoke too soon.
I mean, you're not wrong for believing that, because this is the same company that tends to mess stuff up a lot. So it's just like now you're um hoping, well, I think we all are just hoping that with all the ways that they can go with this, they don't mess it up, because that's the one thing I love about the Royal Rumble, is that this is one of those shows like where a lot of stuff can change for the better, or a lot of stuff can change for the worse, or a lot of stuff can just stay the same. It's very predictable but unpredictable. You never really know where things could go, and now there's many different storylines going into the show, and it's very exciting for the most part. So let's just hope that something exciting happens.
Right.
Something, please, because I've been craving excitement from this company for a very long time now, and they haven't given it to me, and I don't know what I did to deserve that. So
It's not just you, man. It's all of us. We all been craving for something big to
yeah,
happen when it comes to this company. So, the road to WrestleMania, it's always a big, bumpy ride, and we're just all gonna have to, we're all just gonna have to buckle ourselves in and try to enjoy it for the best we can. There was a report on Ringside News where they actually had a little bit of a preview of the WrestleMania sign that's gonna be hung up
oh, I
at
saw
the
that.
at the uh, at the venue for the Royal Rumble. That sign not only is going to be fucking huge, but that sign looks fucking beautiful. I loved the look of the sign so far. I can't wait to see the full product.
It does look good. I saw on the ground, like, God, that joint is huge. That is nuts. That
Yeah.
I don't remember it ever being that big before. So I was like, that's something. So
Uh,
hopefully it's just the
I mean,
show, the
when they
sign.
point to the WrestleMania sign like they always do, I'm actually pointing to Babe Ruth right now. That's actually kind of cool. But when they always point to the WrestleMania sign, that's always just a beautiful, beautiful like vision, not vision, like a visual that they
Mhm,
always do, because like they always just do that. The pyro goes out and everything, and it's always just a great visual to see.
mhm.
Um, the winner of the Royal Rumble actually being able to do that. Being able to do that now in front of a crowd this year, I think that's going to be so much more meaningful for the professional wrestlers now. Um, Obviously, Drew McIntyre got to do it for the 2020 Royal Rumble before everything kind of went downhill. The 2021 Royal Rumble, Edge. I don't even think there was a WrestleMania sign in the Performance Center kind of days, right? Or the Thunderdome? I can't even remember.
I don't remember. I feel like it
I
was
can't even
there, but
remember.
I don't think.
Um, if it was there, they obviously didn't do the pointing up spot, because we never even really had pyro during the Thunderdome era. Um, but I think it's just going to be a lot more meaningful now because everybody's back in the crowd. That crowd hopefully is going to be riled up because it's Royal Rumble, and it's going to be a lot more meaningful because Royal Rumble should always have that kind of a feel in everybody's mind that since this is a road to WrestleMania, anything can happen. So I really hope things could be special this year. I really do, and that's just me speaking as a fan of professional wrestling. That's just not me being a WWE shill, AEW shill, or what have you. This is me as a fan of professional wrestling wanting a good show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all what we want at the end of the day. There was a WrestleMania sign. Okay. It was a year ago, and plus with everything going on, I mean, I just didn't know if anything was happening. But like, yeah, like it's me speaking as a true professional wrestling fan that wants the best for this product, and we all just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Speaking of a match that was not the best, Sheamus and Ridge Holland taking on Cesaro and Ricochet. Ridge Holland has that fucking ridiculous black mask on his face. I don't know, but obviously he's still recovering from a broken nose. But I mean, they always gotta put a mask on somebody.
There's like many masks on this show now.
I mean, they did it with Sheamus. Now they're doing it with Ridge. I mean, like,
Carmella still wears hers.
Carmella still wears hers, and she doesn't even have anything wrong with her face.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need to take that mask off so that Corey can just get used to seeing her face more, considering they're about to be, married soon. That's another story for another day, though. This match wasn't bad. This match wasn't the best. It's just a normal tag team match. This match lasted maybe 7 minutes. Ridge Holland and Sheamus actually won here, which I was honestly kind of shocked of because honestly they needed the win with Ridge Holland's return match back here on Friday Night SmackDown. Ricochet is so goddamn great. But it just sucks because I know WWE doesn't see him in the way that we do. And he'd be perfect in that IC title picture, but it's just not in the cards. And that sucks. So it's just Cesaro. I mean, Cesaro would be great for that Intercontinental Championship picture, too. All these guys would be good, but they're stuck in a tag team.
They just make Ricochet take bumps all day, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Ridge Holland did not catch Ricochet, the one that died. Did you see that?
Disgusting.
See?
Oh my God.
I wasn't the only one that saw that then, because he did not catch him.
He popped back up like getting hurt. I was like, that looks like that hurt really bad. Because God.
Yeah. It looked beautiful, the flying of it. It's just like WWE commentators always say, it's not the fall that hurts. It's the sudden impact. It's the sudden impact afterwards. And man, that impact fucking looked absolutely brutal and devastating. I hope Ricochet's okay because that was not. Rich, just please next time be there, please, because you can't be doing that. You can't. Bad things could happen, and that could have ended a lot worse than what it did.
You know what? You know what something I just thought of? I hope I'm wrong about this. That could have been revenge for Ricochet breaking his nose.
I hope you're wrong about that, but honestly, that's not too far-fetched.
I hope I'm wrong about that. He just, I'm just gonna drop him. Cause that's, I listen. That just connected in my head. I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope I'm dead ass wrong about that. But damn.
That's not too far-fetched, though. I mean, I would not be shocked by that, but I really do hope you're wrong too. I don't know if Ridge Holland would be that type of a guy, but heck, I mean, anything's possible, honestly.
I don't know, man.
But we're gonna pick up from a commercial break. We're back live as Sheamus is hitting the Irish Curse backbreaker on Ricochet. Holland then tags in and slams Ricochet into the corner. Holland then hits an elbow drop, and Ricochet is shown bleeding from his mouth. Ricochet then hits a springboard moonsault and tags in Cesaro, as Sheamus is also tagged in. Cesaro runs, hits a running uppercut and follows with a corkscrew uppercut off the middle rope, which that corkscrew middle rope uppercut by Cesaro is always fucking beautiful. I love it every single time he hits it He's been doing that ever since he debuted in WWE, and it's honestly really cool. On the outside, Cesaro hits a running uppercut to the barricade, and Holland then makes a blind tag and uses a protective mask as a weapon to take out Cesaro and gets the 3 count. When everybody was celebrating, Cesaro was holding his nose and face as the referee was trying to check up on him. I really hope Cesaro don't have a goddamn broken nose now, or that's going to be his gimmick, because I'm so fed up with these broken nose gimmicks or whatever the heck they're trying to make it as now, because at the end of the day, Rage Holland does not have a broken nose anymore as he took the mask off. So let's just hope both of those guys, Cesaro and Ricochet, are okay, because they actually took some bad bumps tonight.
Yeah, this was a rough one to watch. Freaking, I hope Cesaro's nose is okay. He looked pretty bad.
Cesaro. I love that you still do it. You're gonna still say it even now that Cesaro and Seth Rollins are not even associated with each other anymore. I love it.
That was great. I'd never heard anyone call him that. I was like, yeah, Seth, I'm calling him that for the rest of my life. He's my Cesaro forever.
I have to say though, Sheamus, and I have to get everybody else's opinion on this as well. Sheamus is absolutely fucking great. I love Sheamus. I love the work rate that Sheamus has. I love everything that Sheamus has been doing ever since him just coming back to WWE. I believe it was like a couple of years ago when he actually made his like return to the company. Sheamus is great.
Yeah.
Everything about him just screams like a perfect mid-card champion to me. Do you think he could be a world champion down the road again? Because honestly, I feel like he can. It's just it has to be in the right card. It has to be the right timing. It has to be in the cards. And at the end of the day, everything just has to fall in place for him. I honestly do believe he's great. It's just at the end of the day, with him being a mentor with Ridge Holland, it could be a very, very hard time for him to be something in the like singles capacity.
I mean, yeah, I think he's been one of the best in-ring guys for a while now. So, I mean, if you build something up to where he becomes a dominant force again, I don't see why not.
And the thing is, dude, he's been working here for, I believe his debut was 2009. I can believe that. Yeah, 2009. Damn.
Yesterday was his birthday. Well, yeah, yesterday now, but
Huh.
It was his birthday.
Oh, it was his birthday. It was his birthday on Friday Night SmackDown. That's awesome.
I didn't know that cool. Earlier. I was like, oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, like Sheamus is a great in-ring worker. He is obviously showing Ridge Holland the way as a main roster competitor and everything. It's obviously working because Ridge Holland, like I said, it was a bit of a reach for a draft pick for Friday Night SmackDown, but the guy's good in the ring. It's just he's got to work on some things. But that's why you have him paired up with an event like Sheamus to show him the way and learn stuff along the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to happen sooner or later. I'm happy he has someone like Sheamus to be there alongside him. I didn't understand the pick when they drafted him, and I really don't understand it now. So hopefully something changes.
Yeah. So Sheamus and Ridge Holland do win. Upon Ridge Holland's return to Friday Night SmackDown, his nose is no longer broken. We'll see what happens for their tag team down the line. A match that I honestly did not think was actually going to happen was Naomi and Sonia Deville. This match...
Oh my gosh. I think this is the match of the night, at least for SmackDown goes.
This match was good. This match was really good. And honestly, I did not even think that Sonya Deville was actually going to wrestle tonight. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I thought by hook or by crook, she was going to find her way out of it.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Yeah, she had a match. And I have to admit this. First of all, Sonya Deville looks great.
Yeah.
That attire that she has, I don't know who made it. I don't know what happened, but man, she looks great. Her in-ring style just impresses the shit out of me every time. Naomi looked great here. Everything about this match looked great. I just wish, and Naomi did win this match for you guys to be aware. I just wish that Naomi got the win on a bigger stage than just a random night on Friday Night SmackDown. That's the only gripe I have about this match. This match was great. The right person won here. It's just at the end of the day, Naomi should have won on a bigger stage. To me, in my eyes.
I mean, I understand that. Part of me thought so, but I was more so just happy that the match was
happening. I was
just
more happy that this actually happened too.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because finally we actually had this. Because it's been waiting for so goddamn long.
And then what happened right after the match? Yeah, so it's just like,
you know what? I almost got everything perfect after the match. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I said on my TikTok live, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything that happened during this match. Because man, I almost got it exactly right. I almost did. So we're coming back from a commercial break, and the match continues live with Deville hitting a spine buster in the corner. Looked great. Naomi then hits a stunner after a springboard off the corner, and Naomi follows up with a flying crossbody, and Naomi covers for a 2 count. Naomi then hits a leg drop and again covers for a 2 count. Deville then hits a slam and a vertical suplex position, and Naomi kicks out at the count of 2. Oh, a lot of 2 counts here, so get ready. Deville then takes advantage of a referee distraction and pokes Naomi in the eyes. This is exactly where I knew it was going to be over, but it actually wasn't, as Deville gets a roll up by holding the tights and Naomi manages to kick out. I was shocked at that moment. I really was. Because I thought by hook or by crook she was going to going to be the victor here, and then she was going to get her revenge in the Rumble match, but she kicked out. Naomi then hits a rear view, then a split-legged moonsault, and covers for the 1, 2, 3. Naomi does pick up a win over Sonya Deville, and finally gets that revenge we've all been waiting for her to get after so many months. After the match, Naomi then goes on the mic and pretty much says, after 152 days or some odd days, I have finally did it. We finally beat Cruella Deville, which is a nice touch. And she says that she cannot wait to take her spot in the Royal Rumble match. At this point, I'm like, watch. Sonya is going to go to the back. She's going to put on her suit. She's going to put on her suit jacket and make her compete from the number 1 spot. I guarantee it. I was almost there, because she did put on her coat. She did put on the official's jacket, and Deville then gets on the mic and says, "Listen, there's going to be a surprise entrant this year in the Royal Rumble, and that is Sonya Deville." Ooh. Obviously, the crowd booed, like Loff previously mentioned. I said on my TikTok live that she was going to go to the back, she was going to put on her official's jacket, and she was going to make her compete at the number one spot, just to make everything worse for her. But Sonya is now in the Rumble, which, like I said in my story earlier on today in our group chat, if you heard it, it kind of lines up now. She may not be entering in at the number 1 position, but it could be a Naomi, Sonya Deville, final 2, Naomi throwing Sonya over the top rope, going to SmackDown, going up against Charlotte at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship, winning the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and finally proving to Sonya Deville that going to SmackDown was not the worst trade in the world, and she finally got what she deserved, and that is just a monumental win at WrestleMania, and that's a new star born at WrestleMania. It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will, but that's the way WWE can go down.
Definitely. See what happens tomorrow. I mean, that's going to be an interesting thing. I feel it. One of them's going to eliminate the other. Obviously, it's just
yeah.
I
that can happen at WrestleMania for Naomi to get the championship, or one of them is going to eliminate the other, and we're going to have a match between those two at Mania.
Yeah.
Which is most likely going to be the case. I think these two are facing at WrestleMania.
Pretty much.
Because I feel like we're probably going to have two women's matches for both nights at WrestleMania this year. This obviously feels like a night one type of a feud to me. Night one for this, and then obviously a SmackDown or Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania, and then obviously another mini type feud for night two, and then the other women's championship on night two as well. Speaking of that, because I feel like this is pretty much a WrestleMania match, what would you like to see as another secondary feud for the women on another night for the WrestleMania? Because there is 2 nights this year. And this is all just fantasy booking, so you're allowed to do whatever you want, honestly, at this point, because we don't know. We haven't really seen anything for a secondary feud. Something with Aaliyah? That's nice.
That's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
Anything for Raw or nah?
No, I mean, no, because Raw sucks, so it's just like
it's true. This is true.
I don't know. I want to say something with Liv Morgan, but I hope that they have her somewhere else as like in like a higher
place on the card.
Yeah, because it's just, and you got Bianca on it. That was my issue. I don't like that they have Bianca and Liv on the same show. I don't like that. That's just me being a fan of both of them, but still, I just don't. I don't like the both of them being on the same show. Cause I feel like one of them still deserved, possibly Liv still deserved to be on SmackDown, but it's just like I don't know.
Well, that's the thing with me and Sasha Banks when it comes to Bayley. Bayley and Sasha Banks should not be on the same show right now, or when Bayley is able to come back. Bayley should go to Raw at that point, because Bayley and Becky for one show and Sasha and Charlotte for the other. I mean, I know it's the 4 horsewomen, and obviously it's the 4 horsewomen. They can come and go as they please, but yeah, 2 and 2. I mean, that's obviously how they've been doing it so far. I just wouldn't want to see Bayley on SmackDown to make it 3-1, because that's just too overpowering for the women's division over on SmackDown. We gotta have a big name go to Raw.
Actually, just came from SmackDown.
Right. So there's a lot of way WWE can go with this Rumble. I'm glad Naomi got the win tonight. I just wish it could have been a big stage. But hey, this could be a smaller step down the line for something big in the future. And we're still months away from the WrestleMania, so who knows?
Yeah.
It's gonna be here before we know it, though. So.
That's true.
It's always crazy when it comes to like the Royal Rumble month and everything, because once the Royal Rumble happens, it's a fucking blur from there. Because then you're already at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You blink and then you're at WrestleMania already. Once we figure out the Rumble winners.
Pretty much.
So it's always something to behold once WrestleMania season comes around. Thank you guys, Josh. We'll see you tomorrow for the WrestleMania. I got WrestleMania on the brain. See, we'll see you. So we'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Royal Rumble predictions.
Yeah.
That's when we're going to be doing it. So,
See you, Josh.
so we'll see you over there, and have a good night. We come back from a commercial break, and SmackDown returns live with Sami Zayn, who is in the ring for the In-Zayn show. I turned to the NFL Network at this time, watching the Week 18 matchup between the 49ers and the Rams.
Oh, man.
We had a field goal made by Matt Gay at this point in time. Shout out to Matt Gay, who was my fantasy kicker all year long. Man, he was a good kicker too, regardless. Which is the guest for the In-Zayn show is honestly the reason why I turned to the NFL Network, and that was Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
Whoa.
God, they need to fix that name so much. They really do.
I call him Shuki, so I forgot his name.
That's a better name. That's a better name for sure. It's better than Shanky. So honestly, that's not even really an attack towards you. Zayn then claims that this show is now a live podcast instead of a stunt show. They legitimately have like a podcasting kind of setup. It's like legitimately just a living room type round table kind of thing. Yeah. And where you legitimately place like your reading, like your books for reading time on the table, and it's just two microphones that could be obviously adjusted at any time. This mic could be adjusted too, but kind of working on a small tripod here and a ballpoint adjuster. So it's not as advanced, but man, it was a legitimate podcast setup, just a little round table. Mm-hmm. So Zayn claims that this is now a podcast instead of a stunt show. Zayn says that this is what the show should have been from the start, and that he never wants to hear the name Johnny Knoxville ever again. This is where I agree with Sami Zayn. I do not want to hear his name ever again either. Zayn then asked Mahal about his confidence for the match tonight, as he was in a tag team match later on against Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. And Mahal says that he is confident that he can beat Shinsuke Nakamura again. He says again, but I'm kind of confused. Did he beat him one the other time?
I don't remember, honestly.
I don't think so. So when he said again, I was kind of confused at that point. Did anything happen between them on SmackDown last week? Because I didn't watch SmackDown last week, remember?
If I remember correctly, it was all just like rematches last week, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Let me look at the other SmackDown results, the 21st. Because that was the championship contender match with Naomi and Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So here's all that. So we had first match was Madcap, Moss and Kofi, Aaliyah and Natalia, Los Darius and Viking Raiders, Charlotte and Naomi, Sheamus and Ricochet, Usos versus Seth and Kevin. No, there was nothing that happened between Jinder and Shinsuke. So
I thought about that. I haven't seen Jinder on the show in like a long time. So
I think this is like the first time Jinder has been on the show, like legitimately on it since being drafted. I really don't even remember him being on the shows for the past 4 months, or however long the draft's been, since October. Yeah. So honestly, like I really don't remember him being on the show. So regardless, he says that he can beat Shinsuke again, even though I don't even really think that's possible when you haven't even met him in the ring. So he says that He also says that Johnny Knoxville and Jackass is actually huge in India, and to which Sami Zayn tries to argue with Mahal before Rick Boogs then interrupts by playing his guitar at the top of his stage and introduces Shinsuke Nakamura. As I keep getting like 20,000 notifications from Waff Not Famous retweeting everybody's tweets.
Yeah.
Good job there, boy.
The whole time it's like Jeff Hardy stuff, and I'm very happy that Jeff Hardy gets love like every week.
Well, that whole, we'll talk about that Jeff Hardy right before we talk about Rampage, because that Jeff Hardy situation that happened, I'm so proud of him. I really am, but we'll talk about it in just a quick second. All you have to realize about Rick Boogs and Shinsuke's match against Jinder and Shanky is that Shinsuke and Boogs won. That's it. Yeah. This match probably lasted around 4 minutes, if that, and honestly, I'm just waiting for the day that Shinsuke loses that championship. I can't stand him with that title any longer. I couldn't stand him as a fucking king when he didn't deserve it then. I can't stand him with the IC title. I can't. I need that title off of him.
One of these days.
I need that championship off of him because I need that championship back in, singles competition. That's what sucks about it all. Is that the Intercontinental Championship is stuck in the tag team division.
Yeah.
Like, if Shinsuke Nakamura was a singles guy, and he was actually, in feuds that mattered, I wouldn't be mad. But with him being stuck in the tag team division with Rick Boogs, and I love Rick, don't get me wrong. I want him to follow me on Twitter one day. But with him being stuck in a tag team with Rick Boogs, the Intercontinental Championship and the prestige of it just continues to go downhill. And that's not just me racking on WWE. That's just facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Intercontinental Championship does not mean anything on Friday Night SmackDown. And before, when Brock Lesnar used to hold the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship was probably the most prestigious brand championship on that brand at that time when Seth Rollins was holding it. Or pretty much anybody was holding it at that time when Brock was champion. But then again, that was Brock as champion before Jeans happened. So
different times.
Different times and different ways to go about things.
Yeah.
But Shinsuke and Rick Boogs do pick up the win. Boogs hits the Boogs Cruise, or pretty much his power slam.
Yeah.
And he got the win. I don't know about you, but the Boogs Cruise is a very, very slow power slam. It doesn't seem weak, but it seems like he's legitimately placing him down so nicely and so gently that nothing happens to him. Do you feel that way?
Partially. I mean, it looks smooth still. So it didn't really like cross my head for too long. But I mean, I do understand why you said that. Oh shit! Happy birthday, Beans! I did not know. I did not say how long you been here. Happy birthday,
Hey, what up, boy? Hey.
But yeah, I didn't really notice that the power slam looked that way, but I think he was just like scared of like dropping him on his neck because he had to tuck his head really fast because Shuki is really fucking tall. So it was
it's the long legs, dude. He's always had long legs, and that could work to your advantage, and that can also hurt you as well. It really did help him though in NXT because when he did the Kinshasa and everything, and Corey Graves was marking out every single time he did the Kinshasa on NXT. Kinshasa! So good. But yeah, Big E and Kofi Kingston take on Corbin and Madcap Moss next. They had a little of a backstage segment Kofi and Big E did before their actual entrance to the ring. Big E was back doing New Day shtick. Honestly, at the end of the day, that was all what this was about. Big E's back. He's not a part of the New Day again, guys, so don't worry. But
I was excited. I was jumping up and down.
Every single time I see Big E doing the whole Big Day stuff, I said Big Day, New Day stuff, and it does warm my heart. But yeah. I want him to move past this, though. Like, there's got to be a time in Big E's career where he just needs to be like, all right, I need to take time for my singles career at this point. I can't be stuck with the New Day shtick all this time. I don't know if that's just me, but like, I need him to. He doesn't need to shed it all the way. But there's something about it to where I need something going down with him in the New Day. It doesn't need to be like full on.
Yeah.
It might just be me, and it might just be me, like with everything going on. But like I've seen what Big E can do solo. We know what he can do solo. When he was not with the New Day, his solo stuff was great. But I understand why they did it here. I understand why he was back doing the New Day stuff, because Xavier's not there right now. And they obviously need to do something with the New Day, because Xavier and Kofi are still associated as the New Day. So having their stuff happen like that. And the thing is, I'm trying to remember, Big E still has that introduction for the New Day when it's Xavier and Kofi. It's just not him saying it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. I want Big E to do something more than the New Day, but I understand why they did it here. It wasn't too big of a deal. I just want something bigger for him. And I'm saying that with the most respect for him in the world. I know he's a former WWE champion. His WWE championship reign was not the best in the world, but we'll see what happens. A lot of people are actually clamoring for him to win the Rumble this year. So wouldn't be bad, but we'll see what happens. Your boy just joined a minute ago, it seemed.
Oh, damn. Well, happy birthday. So, I'm happy to hear.
Happy birthday, man. So Big E and Kofi did pick up the win over Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. Kind of predictable, considering this was Big E's return to Friday Night SmackDown to help Kofi after all of this. Before the match, there was like a little video package of Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin doing their, joking kind of shtick. Just another insensitive joke about Drew McIntyre and what the heck is going on with him when it comes to his injuries and everything. Drew McIntyre does not need neck surgery, but his return is very much still up in the air. Or at least that's what the commentary said. Do you think this could all be a work, or do you think this could all just be real and he's not going to show up on Saturday?
I don't know.
Because honestly, WWE injuries nowadays, you honestly, you don't know what ones are real and what ones are work.
I don't know what they're planning. I don't know. I know. I'm gonna tell you this: the 2 hours, like it's gonna start at around 5 or 6. Those 2 hours are gonna be some of the most exciting moments. Cause I feel like that's when ringside news and shit. There's gonna be like, do. They're gonna drop as much news from 6 to 8.
Yeah,
as much as we need to know, and some shit probably we don't need to know. I still feel like they're gonna tell us every person that's gonna be Forbidden Door, no Forbidden Doors, surprise entrance, Booker T. I don't give a fuck. I feel like I still feel like they're gonna tell all 30 people. I feel like we're gonna know that before the show starts, and I'm gonna just turn my phone up. That's why I'm like,
I might have to turn my phone off because I don't want anything. I don't want anything more to be released because we already got 2/3 of both Rumbles already announced like 3 weeks before the Rumble. I do not want any more.
I got one time to see something nuts on my phone, and I'm gonna just not want to watch the show anymore. So I mean, I don't know.
Remember when the list of the Royal Rumble entrants came out?
Oh yeah, I looked at that list this morning, and once they said it was fake, I was like, okay, I can look at.
Yeah, they debunked that list like 2 weeks ago, saying that it was fake. So
who was on it,
dude. And you know what? I might as well just read it out to you guys now. There was no. It's fake, so trust me, I'm not spoiling anything. But yeah, this list was god dang insane. And I do kind of want to read it out because this list was so insane that honestly, I wanted to bring it to you guys so bad, but I didn't want anybody to like get like mad at me in case if anything was happening. So I do want to read it out to you guys. Once I find it, I will let you guys know. But yeah, here, Royal Rumble list. Yeah, so here it is. Entrant number 1, according to this list, was going to be Kevin Owens. And entrant number 2 was going to be Sami Zayn. That right there, that's a great start for the Rumble.
Yeah.
and that's just a great start for the Rumble. I don't care how many times Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn faced off against each other. That's just would have been a great way to start off. Number 3 would have been Angelo Dawkins. Number 4, NXT call-up Tommaso Ciampa, which honestly makes sense considering he was backstage at tonight's show. Number 5, Big E. Number 6, the Intercontinental Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. Here's where Johnny Knoxville comes in at number 7. Number 8, Montez Ford. Number 9, Dominic Mysterio. Number 10, Sheamus. Number 11, Matthew Riddle. Number 12, NXT call-up Pete Dunne. Number 13, Rey Mysterio. Number 14, Mansoor. Number 15, Kofi Kingston. Number 16, Santino Marella. So there's your first surprise.
That's nuts.
Number 17, our favorite guy, Loft. Get ready for the yelling. I don't know if you can yell at this hour, but almost. Almost. Number 18, Alberto Del Rio.
See, now it's fake. As soon as I read that, I was like, "Yep, nope, that's it."
Honestly, I should not have even said his name on this podcast because he's honestly he's not in a good light right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why off in a second. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why off stream because it's way too crazy to even say on stream, and I don't want this thing to get taken down.
Yeah.
It's guys, you can look it up yourself. It's very easily accessed, and you can find it easily. So yeah. I won't say it on stream because it honestly would take the stream down in a matter of seconds. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you guys can easily find it. I'll just leave it at that. Number 19, Madcap Moss. Number 20, Austin Theory, which is a good number for him. Number 21, Randy Orton. Number 22, Happy Corbin. Number 23, Damian Priest. Number 24, Finn Balor. Number 25, AJ Styles. Number 26, Dolph Ziggler. Number 27, Cesaro. Number 28, Impact World Champion, Moose. Number 29, Apollo Crews. And number 29, Drew Gulak, but who gets attacked, and it's Roman Reigns.
That is one of the worst Royal Rumbles that could have ever occurred. I'm very happy that's fake. Because God, that shit sounded terrible.
Guess who Dominic would have been eliminated by in this list?
Who, Alberto?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. No.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. That would have been crazy. Oh, and the winner of this Royal Rumble, guys, would have been AJ Styles. Which, honestly, I would not be mad at.
That's not bad at all.
Like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
That's kind of nice.
The most eliminations in this Royal Rumble would have went to Moose.
Wow.
Which, honestly, it's pretty damn good. Big E would have had 46 minutes in this Rumble. Kevin Owens would have had 50 minutes. Riddle would have had 44. So it looks like those would have been the final three. That is, wait. It could have looked like the final three. And then obviously AJ Styles. Wow. Interesting. There was also another league that was just absolutely crazy. I saw, somebody sent it to me on Instagram, and this one was absolutely insane. So our boy Darren Atkins, who's a big supporter of the podcast, sent me this list off. Now, I'm just going to read this one out to you. Obviously, this one's fake too, so don't worry. This is actually a TikTok, and it was obviously an edited one. Because this one is absolutely crazy, guys, and you guys are not going to want to miss this one.
Oh my God, it's Nate. Oh my God, it's Nate.
Nate is here. I know Nate is here. He's absolutely a fucking legend. Number 1, Veer Mahan. Number 2, Big E.
Ew.
Number 3, AJ Styles. Number 4, Damian Priest. Number 5, Happy Corbin. Number 6, Madcap Moss. Number 7, Rey Mysterio. Number 8, Dominic Mysterio. Number 9, Montez Ford. Number 10, Angela Dawkins. As you guys can see here, it's tag teams coming in one by one. As soon as I saw that, I knew this was fake.
Yeah.
Number 11, Austin Theory. Number 12, Kofi Kingston. Number 13, Sami Zayn. Number 14, Kevin Owens. Number 15, Johnny Knoxville. That's where Johnny came in. Number 16, Jinder Mahal. Number 17, Tommaso Ciampa. Number 18, Mitsubishi Nintendo.
Who the fuck?
New Japan guy.
That's his name?
Mitsubishi Nintendo, yes.
Huh.
Number 19, Braun Breaker. Number 20, Drew McIntyre. Number 21, Walter. They have it as his new name, but I'm calling him Walter.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 22, Moose. Number 23, John Cena.
John Cena!
Number 24, Roman Reigns.
Boo.
Number 25, Triple H.
Boo. Wait, Triple H?
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
Yeah. Number 20.
In my head before I said boo. Wait, what?
Number 26, and get this, Goldberg.
Oh no, there's the boo. There's the boo.
Number 27, get ready to boo again, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Number 28, Cody Rhodes.
Hulk Hogan is 204 years old. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, so number 28, Cody Rhodes.
Oh God, boo.
Number 29, Sheamus's hologram. Sheamus is just gonna have a hologram in the Royal Rumble. I don't know why.
Wow.
And number 30, Tony Khan.
Oh my God.
And guess who's the one person that eliminates everybody?
I'm scared to. What, the holograms?
No. Veer Mahan eliminates everybody in the Rumble and wins the entire thing.
It's going to WrestleMania.
Veer Mahan just eliminates everybody. Everybody has 0 eliminations except for Veer Mahan, who has 29.
One year did you have a Rumble like that? Like, remember how Brock started off throwing out the first 13?
He eliminated 13 men consecutively. It was in the video package tonight.
That was a great video package, by the way.
It was a good one.
Those video packages. They can't book a show, but damn, they can make a video.
So, Darren just texted me, during work on Wednesday. He said, hey, I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, I have news about the Rumble. I'm like, uh-oh, let's hear it. He said, somebody leaked the participants for the Rumble match. And I'm like, oh, this list? Because this one's actually fake. He's like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting because this is the only one that was leaked out. So what's this new one that you're talking about? He sent me the TikTok that had the list a part of it. And I'm like, wow, what a leak. Veer wins it all. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Veer just eliminates everybody. He's like, yeah. I just kept laughing at it. And I was laughing uncontrollably at work at this point.
Oh.
He texts back, what's funny? And I'm like, wait a second, that can't be the real list.
It's hilarious.
And he's like, yeah, no, I'm just fucking around with you. I'm like, thank you. Jeez.
Hulk Hogan.
Legitimately had me a heart attack right there when he said what's funny. I'm like, that can't be the real list. Please.
If I'm watching this Rumble and I hear a real American come on, I'm going to turn the show off. With that nut ass TNA one.
Then he asked when he could be on OTB. I said, you know what? Honestly, you've been a big supporter of this podcast for a very long time. So I said to him, you can come on for the next episode of Tuesday's Talk. So this upcoming Tuesday, guys, Darren Atkins will make his OTB debut.
There it is.
He's honestly been waiting to come to the podcast for a very long time. Obviously, with everything going on, I mean, we obviously love to have all of you guys here on OTB, but with everything, with obviously reviews and timing and all that stuff, not everybody could be on, but I've been waiting for Darren Atkins to get on here for a long time. He'll be on Tuesday's Talk.
Cool.
So that's good. We'll figure out what kind of topic and everything we can do. Obviously with the Rumble, just 3 days after, we'll have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Rumble that day. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. So there's that. And now we didn't finish talking about SmackDown that entire time. It's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins' segment. So Reigns gets on the mic. He says, Kansas City, acknowledge him. Rollins then says that the match tomorrow is how it should be, 1-on-1. Rollins says that if being pinned by Rollins is that embarrassing, Reigns has brought more shame to his family than anybody else. Rollins then alludes to the Money in the Bank cash-in at WrestleMania 31 when he pinned Roman Reigns. He returned in 2016 where he again pinned Roman Reigns. And then he changed the game forever when he took a steel chair to Roman Reigns' back after breaking up the Shield. Rollins says that him destroying the Shield turned Roman Reigns into the star, and he owes all of that to Rollins. Rollins says that Reigns has done it all except for beating Rollins when it matters the most. Rollins says taking the Universal Championship won't be personal, and that Rollins will always love Reigns as a brother. Reigns says that he tried to forgive Rollins, but he never will for what he did when he broke up the Shield. Roman says that he hates Rollins, and Rollins responds, laughing maniacally. When he said, he's like, "I hate you," I'm like, uh-oh. Those are some fighting words there, Roman. You okay? You gonna be okay? Yeah. Just some fighting words saying I hate you. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So he says he hates Rollins, and Rollins responds by just laughing at him. Reigns then drops the belt and shoves Rollins. I'm like, uh-oh, we're shoving now. It's two brothers fighting, old school style. Just shoving each other until we all have a double leg takedown. We're all just punching each other in the face. So we're shoving each other, and Rollins continues laughing as Reigns then goes to leave the ring. But then Reigns turns back, tries to hit a Superman punch, but Rollins is able to duck it, and he leaves the ring as SmackDown goes off the air. Rollins is laughing, Reigns is pissed, and it was pretty good to see that type of a visual, but honestly, I was kind of expecting a little more. I mean, I understand that the Usos are barred from ringside, and obviously that's why they weren't there, to kind of like, not even the odds, but like overpower the odds, so to speak. And honestly, that was a nice touch. If they're banned from ringside, they should be banned from here too. But I don't know. I kind of was just expecting a little more. Are you good? Uh-oh. Love got kidnapped again.
Yo.
Love got taken by the Undertaker.
I'm here.
I was just expecting a little bit more from tonight. I don't know what it was. I understand the reasoning why the Usos were not there. Obviously, if the Usos are banned from ringside for the Rumble match, they should be not appearing here as well. But I don't know. There was something about this where I kind of felt like there should have been a little bit more. Instead of just a ducking of a Superman punch and that was it. I understand the great jabs that Seth did to Roman. And honestly, that made Roman pissed off, which is great. But I don't know. What were your thoughts on all of this? I liked it. It's just, I don't know.
I think it was perfect for how much time we have, because it's literally tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a 3-week feud.
Yeah.
There's really only so much you can do with a 3-week feud.
Yeah, I feel like this was a good way to tie it up. It was just Rollins making Roman as angry as possible, and that's why I still feel like Roman is going to lose, because it's just, I feel like this was different than everything we've gotten from him. It's just been like, he sat there for a minute, and for the first time, he was just like speechless. He sat there, he's like trying to figure out what to say.
But I feel like he's been like that for all 3 weeks of this feud. There really hasn't been any Rollins has almost always got the better of him in all of this. And yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, the Usos had that one time where he, okay, 1 out of the 3 weeks, Roman was standing tall.
Hmm.
To me, I feel like that. Like, I feel like Roman has not really gotten any kind of momentum in all of this. It's all been Seth.
That's why I think it's over.
Or that could just be a big swerve to all of us. And
yeah, they could just do the whole thing, and then Roman wins again, lol, I guess. But I mean, it seems different this time because the only time I was 100% sure that Roman was going to lose was at SummerSlam, and then that got blown up in my face. So I'm like, all right, what now? And everything else has been like Roman's going to win, but now it's like I'm not 100% sure that Seth is going to win, but this feels like a lot like SummerSlam did, just because I think Rollins really has his number, and I think that you can really go somewhere with that. Even though I'm not really happy with Rollins being champion, I'm just happy Roman's losing, honestly. So it's just like, but part of me also wants Roman to win the match. I feel like that will lead to a better Royal Rumble outcome.
yeah.
Like I'm just set up because like I want Roman to lose, but at the same time, more than I want Roman to lose, I want a better Royal Rumble winner. And I think like the only way we get a better Royal Rumble winner is by Roman beating Rollins. So it's just like,
And Brock beating Bobby.
yeah. And Brock beating Bobby.
I know this isn't Monday Night Raw, but what are your thoughts on the Brock and Bobby stuff too? I mean, we're obviously doing our predictions tomorrow, so I don't want like a full prediction here. But Brock and Bobby, I mean, the only way I see Bobby winning that WWE Championship is by fuck finish.
Listen, I can't imagine that match being over 10 minutes.
And that's also a problem I have with this. We've been waiting for years when it comes to this championship match or just match in general, and I feel like it'd only be like an 8 to 10 minute match just by WWE standards, because that's exactly what they do to us every time when a big match like this happens. And I know everybody's going to be pissed off at that because we've all been waiting for this for so long. But we have to remember, it's WWE. They don't do like 30-minute bangers when it comes to this type of a matchup. They don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
and everybody's going to get pissed off. Everybody's getting pissed off because of that.
Because it's
a big match.
You really can't mess this up. It's not. This should be a.
They can though. It's WWE, and they have.
I know they can, but I just like, please don't. You know, like this is literally
We're begging for them to not at this point.
Yeah, and it's not that hard to not mess this up. It's these two go in there and just kill each other for 15 minutes. Then it's cool. We're done. We're out. We made it. We made it out. Just get in, get out. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour freaking.
I don't want it to be a Brock and Bobby. I don't want this to be a Brock and Goldberg WrestleMania 33 like thing where it was like maybe like it was a fantastic 5 minutes. Don't get me wrong, because everybody was just spearing everybody and F5ing like crazy. But I don't want it to be like a finisher fest for 5 minutes and then done. I want this to be a good one.
I can't imagine it's anything different than that, and that's what's scary.
Yeah.
I feel like the match is gonna start off with some suplexes and some spears, and then someone's gonna get a big spot, and then whoever wins. I still don't know who is gonna win, but I mean,
WrestleMania 33.
It's just,
we all remember that.
Oh God.
I mean, we all didn't even know each other at that point, but I know everybody remembers that.
I was definitely watching in pure confusion.
It was just a spear and F5 fest, and then all of a sudden, Brock won that. Yeah.
Which one did Goldberg squash him at? Was that like Survivor Series or something?
Survivor Series.
Okay.
That was when the whole WWE game was just starting to come out, and that was Goldberg's actual official return because he was the pre-order bonus.
Mm-mm.
And that's the whole reason why Goldberg came back in the first place. And then obviously he came back for more because he won the Universal Championship from Kevin Owens, and then all of that stuff happened. So when it was supposed to be just his return for the WWE 2K video game, which is 2K17 if I'm not mistaken, because that was when Brock was on the cover, he obviously got way more than that. He even got to bury the Fiend in Saudi Arabia. R.I.P. the Fiend. But yeah, Brock and Bobby, that one's going to be different too. It's going to be difficult to predict. The only way I see Bobby winning is by fuck finish. I'm telling you guys right now, though, I feel in my gut one person's losing that championship. I feel within my gut one person is going to lose that championship.
Yeah, Roman's about to lose.
But I'm sorry to say it, but whoever loses their championship is going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, and whoever is going to be in that Rumble, I'm sorry, but if they're going to be in the Rumble, they're winning.
That's what's
and that's what sucks.
Yeah.
I need them both to retain their championship so that we can get not the unification match is not happening. I know it's not. Yeah. They've teased it, but just because they tease it doesn't mean it's happening. I need them to both retain their championship so that we can legitimately have somebody, some like legit person win the Rumble. We can have a unification match on night 1, and then the Royal Rumble winner have it at night 2. That would be the perfect way to do this. But it's not happening that way. It's not. And I understand that leaves the women for a main event of WrestleMania. But you know what? At the end of the day, like, and I know people are going to call me sexist for this, but they don't need for when it comes to this kind of a WrestleMania and when it comes to this type of a big match and when we can finally end the brand split, the women don't need a WrestleMania main event when it comes to this kind of thing. We need the brand split to end, and that's the way you need to do it. Main event night 1, Brock Roman unifying the titles. Main event night 2, Royal Rumble winner versus the winner of Brock and Roman for unification. Easy. And that's not me being sexist. That's just me trying to figure out how to get the brand split over. But I know people are going to take it that way. It's an easy thing for me, but I don't work for WWE.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I had the chance to, I would give the women so much more main event time just because they barely get it. You know what I'm saying? Even the people like I don't like Becky and Charlotte, I would still give them that time just because I feel like it will be a change.
Well, those guys are caliber for like main eventing kind of thing.
That's why I want to see it again. We've seen Roman and Brock fight about 200 times in my 21 years of living. In the last 5 years, you know, it's just like
especially the last 5 years,
Yeah, the only thing like I was hoping if you want to unify a title, you unify both women's titles and just have all 4 horsewomen fight in the
that's what I'm talking about. When it comes to WrestleMania this year, the way you could have easily ended the brand split is by unifying championships. You could have had. I understand it's almost kind of like like Survivor Series at that point, doing champion versus champion. But at the end of the day, make one women's championship, make one set of tag titles, make one, unify the world title, and you're good to go. Obviously, you can have the Intercontinental and United States Championship. You do not need to unify those championships. But the one set of tag team titles floats between the 2 brands. One set of the women's championship float between the 2 brands. I mean, usually having 2 world champions work, but we've seen one world champion in WWE before. I honestly don't know how that would really work, but We've seen it happen before. It's mainly the tag team and the women's division as to why I want the brand split to end. That's just me.
I don't know, man.
It's mainly the tag and women. I don't mind about the men's like singles roster. I mean, the men's singles roster, that's always going to have its issues. It's the tag and women. Because there's not that many women. And there's not that many tag teams. But that's, again, WWE's fault. Uh-oh. What did you retweet about AEW? Oh, yeah, she tweeted something positive.
Yeah.
AEW, one final Hardy Boys run with his brother and amazing matches with the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, and some others. And some of the very best tag teams in the world, WWE, get inducted into the same Hall of Fame as Drew Carey. Great. Must have been the toughest decision for Mr. Jeff Hardy. We'll talk about that real quick before Rampage. Report came out earlier on today that a couple of weeks ago, John Laurinaitis contacted Jeff Hardy for an official WWE return, possibly a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. And not only that, and he would get a return back to WWE, but he would also have a Hall of Fame spot waiting for him in the 2022 Hall of Fame class, along with his brother, as the Hardy Boys would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. This, I said it on TikTok, and I'm going to say it here on this live. That was an absolutely pathetic way to try to get Jeff Hardy back. They're bribing him with a WWE Hall of Fame spot when at the end of the day, we were all just trying to say, hey, you know, you were in the wrong for this. You fired the man for no reason whatsoever. And they made him take a drug test. It came back 6 weeks later, and it came back negative. And now all of a sudden they're trying to bribe him with a Hall of Fame spot and a return. He said no. Jeff Hardy said no because he knows that you guys were in the wrong, and now you're just trying to buy him back because at the end of the day, you do not want him to go to AEW, and you just don't want him to do anything else in the world of professional wrestling other than the WWE. You guys are the ones that fucked up. You guys are now paying the price for it, and he's going to kick ass somewhere else, not only in that independent wrestling show that's happening on March 12th, 3 days after his 90-day no-compete clause ends, but in AEW, where he's most likely going to end up. So you guys are the one that have to pay the price for this, not Jeff Hardy and the rest of the Hardy family. Pathetic excuse by WWE. Hall of Fame spot. You're trying to bribe him now. Okay. What were your all thoughts on that?
I saw that this afternoon. I was just like, it made me sad because I've always imagined Jeff getting the Hall of Fame spot, but not like that. That's not how
he was. They were bribing him off.
Yeah,
they were bribing him.
Not like that. That's not like that. Because now it just doesn't even seem like it's genuine. Now it seems like, oh,
do you think now with him saying no, that's going to jeopardize the Hardys' spot in the Hall of Fame? Because they're obviously going to be first battle of the Hall of Famers in the first place, right? So
yeah.
I mean, do you think that jeopardizes it with him saying no right now?
No.
Do you think that, I mean, they could be that petty?
There's too much stuff that had Jeff and Matt separately and Jeff and Matt together in the glory days of the company for them to completely ignore it like that. I know they're not that dumb. They can't be that dumb. The only people that they've completely ignored are people that actually deserve to be ignored.
Yeah.
We're not even going the route of ignoring Jeff and Matt. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
And we all know the people that you're talking about too.
Yeah. That just seems irrational. That's not even petty at that point. That's just purely.
I mean, that's just wrong. Like,
ignore that stuff. That's like if John Cena just said something bad about the company one day, and they're like, "Yeah, nah, we're just gonna act like you never existed." You can't. Right. It's too late. You've been, Jeff and Matt have been in too many of the most classic moments and matches in history of like not only tag team wrestling but wrestling period. So you can't even ignore that like at all.
Yeah. I was just proud for Jeff standing up for himself and standing up for his family, saying no like that. Because I'm not going to be bribed back into the company with a Hall of Fame spot that you probably don't even mean at that time. You didn't mean it.
They could have just held that over him, like, "Oh, we'll put you in the Hall of Fame." Okay, like he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and if he's not in the physical one, he's still in the Hall of Fame to me. So it's just
like
we already know he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not getting bribed back to the company. You can kiss my ass.
That's not even right, though.
Yeah. But yeah, we just had to adjust that, considering that was the biggest report that came out today. That was an absolutely pathetic excuse and move by WWE to contact him like 2 weeks before the Rumble and saying, "Hey, you're going to get in the Hall of Fame if you sign back up with WWE." I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame regardless, bitch.
Don't get me wrong. If Jeff came back in that Royal Rumble, I would have lost my mind in here. You know that already.
But there's a difference between pride and selling your soul to the demon.
Yeah, it's not that deep. It's definitely not. Especially with there's so many other wrestling companies in the world,
I'd rather have my pride before selling my soul. And being classified as a jobber and or eating and stuffing my face in catering.
I told everyone on live, it's like you breaking up with your ex and then like 2 days later they call you back and asking for something that like is not needed. They just like, "Oh, let's go to the store." No, you just broke up with me, woman. You what? No, I'm crying. You telling me to go to Walmart? No, I don't want to go to Walmart.
I don't want to go to Walmart.
No. That's what it is. It's just like WWE is the mad ex that calls you back for a favor that they don't need and then try to bribe you with some shit. No, it's not how that works here.
Right.
That's not how shit works here.
So then we had so that was the big story coming out of today. John Laurinaitis calls Jeff Hardy 2 weeks before the Rumble starts and says, "Hey, you can come back, but only if you're a part of the Hall of Fame." I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame regardless, bitch. So don't try to bribe me. No.
Yeah.
And he's still waiting for his 90-day no-compete clause to end, which ends on March 9th, 2022. And then 3 days later, on March 12th, Big Time Wrestling, he's teaming up with his brother Matt against, obviously, an unknown tag team. It's an independent wrestling show. So if it's going to be like a big-time match where they obviously brought 2 other people in, or if it's an actual, like, independent tag team going up against the Hardys, that's the biggest match of their career right there. And that's just them on the indies going up against the Hardys. That would be insane. So whoever it is, I'm going to be very happy for that tag team.
Yeah.
But we had AEW Rampage next. AEW Rampage kicked things off with now, obviously, since AEW Rampage is taped, they never put like the actual results of AEW Rampage on Ringside News. So I'm just going off based on memory here. The AEW Rampage started off with Jon Moxley and Anthony Bowens of The Acclaimed. Anthony Bowens had Max Caster had a great rap when it comes to Cleveland, Ohio. He mentioned Jon Moxley's wife in the rap,
Oh Jesus.
saying something about saying something was shitty in Cleveland, but his wife never called him back.
Oh my God.
Just great stuff by
Ruthless.
Max Caster as always. Max Caster then was telling the referee, "Hey, keep him back. He's nuts." And John's just like, "All right, all right, all right." And then obviously Anthony Bowens did, his shtick. We're saying the actual city name and says the Acclaimed have arrived. Then Jon Moxley then attacks Max Caster, throws him out the ring, and the match between Anthony Bowens and Jon Moxley ensues. Great match. Good match here. Jon Moxley does pick up the win with a they called it a phantom clothesline into a paradigm shift for the 1, 2, 3. It was a great match. Jon Moxley wins in his home state. As we all know, he's not from Cleveland, Ohio. He's from Cincinnati. But in his home state, nonetheless, he picks up the win. Jon Moxley looks great in his second match since coming back to AEW television. He looks great.
It's always
Did you
good
see
to
Jon
hear.
tonight?
Yeah, I came in right when I walked in the room. I saw the match beginning. I'm really mad I missed the freaking rat, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy he's freaking getting work, man, because we're getting like good matches back. Because I was worried that he would like have some time to get his legs under him,
Yeah.
but it's like he never left. So I'm always happy to see that.
He's great, man. He's great. And after that, Danhausen actually tweeted after the match saying, "Good for Jon Moxley," and just him getting back on his feet. Like, so Danhausen, he may be a crazy motherfucker that showed up during the unsanctioned match on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, but he obviously knows what's going on with Jon Moxley and everything going in his life. So he kind of just said, "Hey, this is good for him." Danhausen, when did you see that at the on the unsanctioned match, and what did you think of all of that? Danhausen's all elite now.
I saw that later when y'all put that in the group chat, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I didn't know what I was looking at, and then I went back and watched it, and I was like, "Okay." Still kind of confused, but I understand what I'm looking at now. But
Just check him out. He's really cool in the ring once you actually get to see him perform. Danhausen, if I can explain the type of character that Danhausen is, I'm trying to think of the wording here, and I might actually pull up what he calls the character, because he's mixing it with two people as to like how this Danhausen character came to be. Let me actually. Okay. So Danhausen, this is by 411 Mania, explains how his character is based on reality. So, he released a new, Chris Van Vliet, who we all know and love. He's honestly an amazing podcaster and interviewer in the wrestling community. He released a new interview with Ring of Honor wrestler Danhausen, who conducted a rare out-of-character interview with his human makeup. He spoke to Van Vliet on creating the character and signing a contract with Ring of Honor, and more below from the video for more insight on the changing of his character. Quote, "I would say frustration and uncomfortableness. As much as the character is out there and weird, this is way more naturally me than me trying to be a tough guy. It's more natural than me pretending I'm going to beat everybody up. That's not me. I was just trying to find myself, and it was not working. I was striking out constantly. I was having good matches here and there, but it just doesn't matter until you are comfortable, which makes sense. So let's see. Let me try to find. Because he compared it between two people, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck he said. He was trying to compare it to well, one of them is obviously a vampire, and you can totally see the comparison with the vampire stuff. Who the heck is that late night talk show host guy?
It was like 7. Jimmy Kimmel. That one dude.
I'm so.
I don't know.
God dang it. I'm gonna think about it after the show goes off the air, and it's gonna be bothering me now. I
do not know.
His last name is O'Brien. I know that.
Oh, Conan?
Yeah. Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
He was comparing it to like a Conan O'Brien type character mixed with a vampire. Which honestly, if you know Conan O'Brien for late night, it worked. It makes sense.
Wow. Huh.
It makes sense in a way. So I was thinking back, just like watching Conan O'Brien shows, and obviously just thinking vampire stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And you just see his mannerisms and everything, and I'm like, damn, that works. So I'm like, good on Danhausen, man. Danhausen's going to be such a great talent here in AEW. I know it might just seem like a surface kind of signing, but once you actually see him, he'll be good. He'll be good. Trust me. And if you haven't seen him, just look him up. He's good. We had the next match, which is a tag team match between FTR and Brock Anderson with Lee Johnson. A very good tag team match. Brock Anderson impresses the hell out of me. He wrestles just like his father, Arn. Lee Johnson is my boy. I love Lee. I just wish he got more opportunities here in AEW, because he's an amazing in-ring talent. Trained by Cody, trained by Dustin, trained by the entire Nightmare family. Great stuff as always from Lee Johnson. And FTR are FTR. I mean, they're old school. We've seen them before. Absolutely amazing. Good tag match. With FTR picking up the win.
I definitely did not watch this match, so I gotta watch certain parts of the show over again now I think about it.
It was a good match. It's just your normal tag team match with FTR, but at the end of the day, Brock and Lee Johnson, they look incredible as a tag team. So I couldn't be more proud of those guys, but knowing FTR, I'm like, they're gonna win, but let's see if they can make Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson look like a credible tag team that can go up and and actually compete with a tag team like FTR, and they did. So I'm proud of those two guys. I hope they get more opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
Up next, TBS Championship on the line. The first match of Championship Friday. For the championship matches, at least for the show. TBS title, Julia Hart, challenger. Jade Cargill, the champion.
Yes, Lord.
Good match. Good match. Good match for somebody that has one eye. And at the end of the day, Jade Cargill, she chose her mainly because, she's just an easy target.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's an easy target. She only has one eye right now. She can't see anything from her left side. And you know what? She took that to the advantage. And you know what? I'm glad the commentators actually took the time to speak about that, because nearing the ending of the match, Jade Cargill does her big pump kick, but instead of doing it with her right leg as she normally does, she does it with her left leg, because the left side of Julia Hart is compromised and she can't see anything from that left side, supposedly. Obviously the eye patch is see-through so that she can, wrestle.
Yeah.
Because, if she's just actually wrestling one-sided, that obviously can't be, safe. Even though she did technically sign a waiver on Wednesday to have this match. But still, it's obviously see-through so that she can wrestle. She did it with her left side, and the commentary said, hey, that's actually very smart on Jade Cargill's part, because obviously Julia can't see anything on her left side. Then once the pump kick happened, she picks her up, does the Jaded 1, 2, 3, and she retains the championship and ultimately becomes 26-0. Now, taking the I'm not saying you're biased towards her. I know you love her, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm biased. I admit that.
Okay. Taking the bias out of it for just one quick second. There's a ton of people, and I thought of this too at some points during her tenure here in AEW so far, that Jade Cargill taunts too much, and she doesn't truly take the matches quite too seriously in ways at times, especially during pinfalls or whatever. You obviously saw it tonight, as when she was covering Julia into Jaded. She was cocky. She was pretty much sitting right directly on her, and she was like doing her flexing and posing during the pin and everything, just mainly because she's a badass and she knows that this was an easy win for her. Do you see the taunting being too much of a thing and she should honestly be really focusing on the wrestling, or is that just her trying to get her character more over with the fans, even though it could be going opposite in ways when people aren't so fond of her right now?
I'm gonna say it like this.
I mean, I know you're gonna like it regardless, but
no, I'm gonna try to explain this in the best way I can. I understand that when we Shaolin nonsense. I understand when he says that wrestling fans are fickle. Like, I always understood it.
Oh
but
yeah,
now
easily.
I understand that to a different extent now, because now it's just like, I remember during the Cena match, that was probably one of the most serious matches in Roman Reigns and probably Cena's career. While Roman Reigns was beating Cena down, he's walking around looking at the camera. I'm gonna whoop his ass. He's doing this when Brock beat down Cena. Brock was jumping around. He's having a great time. No one said anything about him jumping around with that. It's just like, and I hate when people say, "Oh, they do this because they're a heel, or they do this because they're a bad guy. Okay, well, Jade's doing this because she's not meant to for y'all to be freaking over the hill with everything she's doing. If you guys, people can't use the heel argument for one person and not use it for the other.
Right.
Her
Okay.
character is supposed to be this over the top, arrogant ass wrestler, which that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you can use that same thing for other heels, if you can use that same thing for why Roman goes in there and very very frequently he does not respect his opponent. He's in there laughing and joking
Right.
and talking about how amazing he is, but no one's saying a peep about that because they like it. So you have something with Jade Cargill. I think there's always an
It's a double
underlying.
standard.
Yeah, it's a double standard with women. It's a double standard with not with you, but I think it's a double standard in wrestling with black women because I feel like they are more vocal about everything they do. Like if you think of every black woman that's in the
That's true.
that's in professional
Yeah.
wrestling, you have Naomi and she's glowing. You have Bianca and she's her pompous
She
self.
she was jumping for joy tonight.
Yeah,
She was insane.
Yeah, you have Sasha Banks who is whenever she walks in the room, she is the center of that room. So
Right.
it's just like you have so many. I think that argument really just comes from people who don't like women's wrestling as much as they say they do. Because when I ask people around and I ask them what was their favorite time of professional wrestling as far as women go, and they tell me it was when they had 5 minute bathroom break matches, and I'm like, okay, now I see that you weren't around for just like the evolution of this shit. You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
This is
Exactly.
now. I feel like this is like the reparations for women's wrestling because now they can finally express themselves beyond their body parts and their sexuality. And the fact that Jade Cargill has a personality that you may like or you may not like. I think it's good to be expressed because it's been a long time since like we're not even that far removed from the days where Vince McMahon was making Trish Stratus bark like a dog, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
literally bark like a dog. Like
Yeah.
and it just and that's all right on Peacock. You can just watch that whenever you want. So it's just like you have certain things to where like it doesn't matter what company it is. You have people like fucking Deanna Perrazzo who have this like rugged, quote unquote, manly disposition to them, but she's a woman and she can go really
Shout
well.
out to Deanna Perrazzo, by the way,
You
because
know?
she's actually competing tomorrow during the House of Glory event,
Yeah.
the all women's tournament, to crown the first ever HOG Women's Champion.
Mhm.
That's finally being aired on Fight TV tomorrow night,
Mm.
and honestly, that's a very amazing tournament. I honestly recommend you guys go see it. Um, the tournament actually happened a week ago, but because of Fight TV and everything going on, they could not actually, air it live. So they're putting it on tomorrow. It's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good tournament. Deanna Perrazzo's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, man. It just I see it so much. I look for as I've gotten older, I've looked for women's wrestling more just because it intrigues me now more than it ever has. And it's just like I've seen the stuff that like Jordan Grace goes through on social media, her calling people calling her a man and shit.
Yeah,
And it's just like
and Jordan Grace is fucking.
she's
She's
awesome.
fantastic.
And she goes in there and whoops Kiera Hogan's ass every time I see. And I look, you guys know I love freaking Kiera, but she goes in there and whoops Kiera's ass every time they get in the ring. But I can't not acknowledge the fact that she's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
And it's just like I think Jade Cargill's thing is something that happens with a lot of women in the company now, and it's just like it's bad. It's really bad that a lot of other male wrestlers can be as expressive as they want to be,
but
and
women's wrestling can. Yeah,
yeah, it's just I hope for days of like change for that. I don't think it'll change anytime soon, just because of the generation in which we live in. But it's just like you have such a double standard in that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. I don't know how long it can go before it just becomes eminently ominent that half these people just don't like women's wrestling and don't respect the women unless they're being sexualized. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's fucked up, honestly. But I
I've
mean,
been trying to get away from that stigma and that standard for when it comes to women's professional wrestling for years. I've always wanted the women to have a chance. When that whole women's like give divas a chance hashtag like became a thing, I was
yeah,
one of the first people to even touch. I was one of the first people to even touch that because I wanted these guys to not have 2-minute matches on these shows. And sadly, we're back to that in WWE, and that's a damn shame.
yeah. That's. I think that's. I don't know. A lot of people in the wrestling community, I don't think it's even our fault, like all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like halfway our fault because I think that when you have something like that, you should go out your way to go and find good women's wrestling because professional wrestling is everywhere, especially right now. So, but
And trust me, there are some good women's professional wrestlers out there.
yeah, but like in the glory days of the company, as far as males go, it was like the complete opposite for the women. Cause like
Yeah.
I go back and watch like you guys know I love watching old SmackDowns and shit. With all the stuff that used to happen with Jeff and Ray and Undertaker and Punk and Batista on the shows, those are the same shows that had really bad women's matches, just a minute 30, cool, like little Maurice, little Alicia Fox, and then they just
Kelly was hired by the company just to be sexualized.
you know,
Yeah.
and I remember that, but I don't remember it as being sexualized. I just remember it as my mom not letting me watch when the women were wrestling.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like in my head all the time. And it's just like,
Right.
huh. That's what's gonna be like trippy for me tomorrow, seeing like Kelly and freaking Becky Lynch in the ring together. Or not
Because
literally.
it's legitimately two separate worlds.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. And it's just like seeing those two, like seeing Mickey and seeing freaking Bianca in the same ring.
Yeah.
It's just what they were doing with Mickey with the whole Piggy James shit. It's just it's always been like that. It's always been like the weird shit. Like not like moving past the bra and panty matches. We're talking about like the Vicky Guerrero, like the mud bath matches and
Oh
the
my god, that one. Yeah.
like it's a whole bunch of stuff that I probably don't even remember. I'll have to be like refreshed on it. But like I went on TikTok and was talking about how I think the freaking diva search was one of the most revolting things I could ever figure out once I saw
Yeah.
what it was. And while we had WWE and professional wrestling legends that came from the diva search, that doesn't make it anything less of a
That
fucking
doesn't make it okay. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
you know?
look at what that show was supposed to be about, and then
Yeah. Everyone's
it
like, "Oh,
became
Miss Maurice." Okay, what did that have to do with the fact that it was literally treated as like American Idol without the singing, but you're a professional wrestler?
yeah.
Like, it just it's a lot,
Most of them were models going onto the diva search, and then all of a sudden they're here saying, "Oh yeah, you need to wrestle now." Like,
you
wait,
know
what?
that's my beef with certain wrestlers in the company. Just like I can see which wrestlers were just picked up because they were pretty, or just picked up because of their um prior engagements, if you know what I'm saying. So it
Right?
just
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like why is it so much of a sexual thing instead of just having actual good wrestlers in the company? Why is it so much of a show? You know what I'm saying? Not to
And
mention the freaking John Laurinaitis is the
is
man.
the head of the
Yeah.
women over there now. So,
Doesn't make any sense. Why is this man telling me what the women should do? It's
and don't
just
get me wrong. I mean, let's try to get back to Jade Cargill for a second. Don't get me wrong, guys. I think she can be something in this company. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, she already is something in this company. Otherwise, she would not be a TBS Women's Champion. It's just right now, when it comes to everything going on and when it comes to everything in between, you're booking yourself into a major corner when you have an undefeated women's champion, and there's legitimately, I really don't think anybody here on this roster right now can be somebody credible to take the title off of her. This was an open challenge for the TBS Championship, and they just have her pick not Kira Hogan. They just had her pick Julia Hart. That's not an open challenge to me, first of all, and second of all, when it comes to you just picking challengers that aren't even on your top 5 for women's wrestlers in the company, that I have a problem with. Because then at that point you're just picking easy pickings for the TBS Women's Champion when you know she just needs to get more reps and when you know she needs to figure out what she can and cannot do in the ring. And at the end of the day, you're booking yourself into a corner saying, all right, now she went through everybody. Who the heck am I supposed to have her lose the championship to? Unless it's somebody who's an actual open challenger, it's a debut, somebody like an Athena who comes in, takes it, and then all of a sudden what happens then? What happens at that point? Because then all of a sudden she loses to somebody who debuts, and then what? Now all of a sudden you got to give Athena a credible championship reign, and then what happens then? Because you can't have Athena lose a match or lose a championship as soon as she gets in. And I'm just using Athena Ember Moon as an example because that's just the first person that came to mind. But like, it's a very, very sticky situation when you have an undefeated champion, because at that point, when she beats everybody, who else does she have left? But then again, that you can obviously bring up the Roman situation as well, which I can obviously see the comparisons. Yeah. But yeah, that's just the way I see it when it comes to the Roman Reigns. When it comes to the Jade Cargill situation, when she beats everybody, what happens next? Then you have to debut somebody. You have to. Having an undefeated women's champion is not the way to go for me. I'm not saying Julia Hart should have beat her tonight. Obviously not. But I don't know. What do you think about that? Having an undefeated champion that's beating everybody when it comes to women's professional wrestling. Not even talking about the Roman stuff.
It's not the smartest thing to do.
Especially for AEW.
Yeah, it's not the smartest thing to do when you have something like that, because everything leads to this champion having to lose to somebody, and whoever beats her has to be able to hold the same standard, you know?
Whoever beats her is going to have like a great look on their resume saying, oh, like I beat the undefeated Jade Cargill. But then you got to do something credible with that championship ring.
That's what it kind of freaks me out, because as long as she's undefeated, it just makes it that much worse when she
makes you happy, but it's like, what happens next?
Yeah. I don't know. I just AEW hasn't really disappointed me in that way, so I can't really.
We just gotta trust the process of Tony Khan, and that could be a great thing, but that could also be like, all right, Tony, come on, let's see something happen here. But then we had the main event, and the main event was fucking fantastic. The main event was like a good 17-minute classic between Jurassic Express and Private Party for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Now, the Gun Club was in the crowd for this match, and trust me, there was a reason why they were in the crowd. So there is that. But this is a great tag team match main event. Private Party are fantastic. We saw a silly string tonight, which is great. If you guys don't know what a silly string is, you can just look up Private Party silly string and you can figure that out. Trust me, it's not legitimately silly string. It's a professional wrestling like signature move that they do. It's great. We saw the thoracic hammer finishing move by Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, which looks amazing every single time. And Jurassic Express retained the tag titles. Did you see this match, Juan? It was a great tag match.
I gotta watch it now. I didn't watch it.
We saw a silly string, man. If you don't know what the silly string is by Private Party, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is, and I'm
Dude,
kind of curious.
it's a great tag team signature like maneuver. And then the thoracic hammer, and everything, like it's like a, how do I explain it? So it's almost like a belly to back type suplex thing, right? But
Mhm.
when the opponent flips over, Jungle Boy catches him into like a powerbomb position and slams him into the mat. It's fantastic looking. You're gonna have to look it up, or just watch the match. It's a great 17-minute classic between Private Party and Jurassic Express. We saw some Matt Hardy and Christian antics going on the outside. Andrade, he's just chilling up in his press box as always, because he owns 51% of the Hardy family office. By the way, that's terrible. I talked about it on Wednesday with Nate when they made this official that Andrade is a part of the Hardy family office now. That's terrible. Andrade deserves so much more. And Andrade as much as everybody else here does. Andrade deserves so much more. He's world championship material. Seriously.
He is.
When you saw, you probably didn't even see it, but now he owns 51%. 51%, not even half. Not. It's not a 50-50 deal. It's 51% of the Hardy family office, and now it's AHFO. It's Andrade Hardy family office. Is he's still probably chilling up in his press box, just having a good old party right now. But yeah, they retained the tag titles in a great main event. Luchasaurus is absolutely phenomenal. WWE, you could have had him. You could have had him. He was actually a part of NXT, yet you fired him. Ridiculous. They never had it. They didn't look at Jungle Boy, but they looked at Luchasaurus, and you fired him. So you could have had him, but you also could have had Wardlow too. Did you see the Wardlow interview with Chris Van Vliet today?
I did not.
He had an amazing interview with Chris Van Vliet. It's uploaded on his channel right now. It's a must listen. He even talked about the WWE interested in a Wardlow situation. You might want to check that out. It's pretty good content. And Chris Van Vliet is always great when it comes to professional wrestling interviews. I won my World Heavyweight Championship from that guy. He follows me on Instagram. He's a great guy. But yeah, it was a great interview with Wardlow. It's honestly just a really good listen because we don't even really get to hear him talk on AEW TV. So just him hearing him, speak.
Yeah.
I didn't even really expect that kind of a voice to come out of him. So there was that. But yeah, man, a great tag match main event. It's just a great extra hour of professional wrestling. Yeah, AEW Rampage, always killing it. Just wish it was live. And I'm always going to say that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, seriously, dude, if it was live, I honestly think you'd probably be a little bit more interested considering it's a live aspect. Is that also another turnoff for you as to why you're just not interested because it's taped?
I don't think so.
It's just not. It's just not for
I don't
you.
think so.
It's just not for you. It's just you just don't want to have another hour of professional wrestling on your Friday night.
Not really. It just
Considering you got 3 hours of Monday.
yeah. Raw hurts.
3 hours on Monday and then 3 hours on Friday probably doesn't hurt. Probably doesn't help either.
At all.
Okay. Listen, I don't mean to pick your brain on that like totally like too often every single now and then, but like it's just questions to ask.
Nah, not. If I could fully explain it, I would, but I really don't even know.
Okay, guys, I think that's it. Unless there's anything else from Ringside News. Nope. Unless you want to know what Leo Rush signing with Universal Music Group. That's it.
I saw that.
WWE and another huge change. What's this? Steve Carrier of Ringside News. WWE is not pleased with NXT 2.0's performance. This is no secret because why would they be happy with it? We were told, quote, do not be surprised if the entire brand looks different by Mania. Are we getting an NXT 3.0 already? Oh no.
Here we go.
What's happening? So Ringside News asked about the report that Shawn Michaels is spearheading NXT's broadcasts under the direction of Vince and Bruce. They were told the report is not entirely inaccurate, but it changes day to day with NXT. Furthermore, the tenured member of the creative team informed us that NXT might be in for another shift sooner than later. We were told, quote, don't be surprised if the entire brand looks different by Mania. NXT 2.0 was not a hit with fans, and that is obvious. WWE failed to attend the demographic that they're trying to go for, and they might call for another change of direction. We're not entirely sure what that can entail, but you never know what can happen in the WWE. Oh, great. Oh, great. Well, considering their key demographic during the 4 months of NXT was 61.
Wow.
There, obviously, something needs to change. NXT 3.0 could be coming very, very soon. Just don't do anything with the commentary team, and I think you'll be all right. Now I said it, and now they're going to change everything. Watch. Watch Wade Barrett. Listen, I want Wade Barrett back in the ring so much, but what did you think about Wade Barrett? Wade Barrett is a commentator. Some good, bad, indifferent. Want him in the ring? What happens?
I mean, he's just there.
He's just there.
He's just there. I mean, just Wade.
Just Wade. He could have been so much more.
He could have been, and then John Cena said nah.
John Cena said nah. He could. He was a world champion material at that time. I honestly wanted him to beat Randy Orton when John Cena was the referee.
He kind of should have. That whole thing should have went a different way, but I mean,
John Cena was a part of the Nexus, then all of a sudden he wasn't, then all of a sudden he was a referee, then all of a sudden he got fired, then all of a sudden he came back just to beat up everybody, and then all of a sudden SummerSlam happened. Daniel Bryan returned when he was a part of the Nexus, but then he wasn't a part of the Nexus, returned to team with Cena and Bret Hart, and then all of a sudden, Nexus got buried. That was pretty much the entire nutshell of everything.
And then the core started, and then that started a whole...
Oh, yeah, and then the core, and then the Nexus, and then all of a sudden CM Punk was the leader of the Nexus, and then all of a sudden Mason Ryan came in, and then all of a sudden everybody thought Mason Ryan was Batista, and then all of a sudden...
they tried to do the Batista thing with Mason Ryan. Oh, he's big too. No.
And now Mason Ryan is still doing his Cirque du Soleil stuff. So
Wow.
yeah, he's still a part of Cirque du Soleil.
Huh.
The more you know. Shout out to you, Panda. But there's so much the Nexus could have done, and then all of a sudden, and then WWE says, oh yeah, remember this group called Nexus? Yeah, we're gonna do the exact same thing, but call it Retribution. We all know how that went.
Complete garbage.
Complete garbage. That's why Mercedes Martinez wanted to get the fuck out of WWE. Because she was a part of that group. Taya Valkyrie was a part of that group. Look what happened. Dominik Dijakovic was a part of that group. He's still known as T-Bar. The guy that got put through the announce table by Brock Lesnar, that got F5, who's now known as Mace. I don't even know his commentary name at that time, but he's still in WWE. Probably not for long, but as Mace. Mustafa Ali, he's sitting at home. And we all know that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's it. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. sharp for the Royal Rumble 2022 predictions. I'm telling you guys right now how the Royal Rumble predictions are going to work. Obviously, the singles matches, you obviously pick who wins. Tag team match between Beth and Edge versus Miz and Maurice, you obviously choose that. For the Rumble, we are going to decide two things. Our Final Four, like who we think is going to be in the Final Four, and our winner. From that Final Four. So make sure you have your winner in your Final Four, so that you can obviously choose the winner from that Final Four. Because I feel like having a Final Four and then our winner would be something to look back at in the next few days or whatever, when obviously everything kind of finalizes. So our Final Four and our winner for the Rumble matches.
Gotta write some stuff down now.
Yeah. So make sure you have your winner in your Final Four. And you also got to think because of the world title matches too. So might want to think of that too. There's some definite things that can happen. But all right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. sharp for the Royal Rumble predictions. Locke, as far as I'm aware of, are we still doing the watch along? I might have to get in contact with Saul, but
I don't know. We're gonna figure that out too.
But if we are, guys, tune into Wrestling Talk Universal, that YouTube channel. That's where we're gonna do the watch along if we do it. Considering there is a nor'easter coming my way, I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to go to my friend's house like we usually do for every single Royal Rumble. Because of the nor'easter. So, looks like I'll be a part of the watch along for the singles and tag match. When it comes to the Rumble, I kind of like to, experience that myself. Plus, with everybody either being ahead or behind, that obviously could just fuck things over. So we'll see what happens. If we're doing the watch along, great. I'll see you guys over there for that portion of the show. But then when it comes to the Rumble, we'll see you guys then. And then, obviously, we're doing the post show. And we're either going to be very, very happy people, or we're going to be very, very pissed off. And if Megan's going to join the show and something with Brock Lesnar happens, we might be in it for we might be in it for the night.
We're gonna get a good one. Either way, we're gonna get a good one tomorrow. You don't want to miss this one.
Yeah, so you might not want to miss the predictions too, because I kind of have a feeling what she's gonna do with the Brock and Bobby match. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
This is my third time thanking y'all for everything, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys then. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to turn on the bell for all notifications. Go to bonfire.com for the exclusive only place where you can get outside the brand merchandise. When that shop is live, we will let you guys know. Do you have anything else to say before we get the hell out of here?
Not that I could think of. I'm very tired, so I'm gonna go to bed as soon as I say goodbye to you. But
thank you.
Not you.
Thank
you. Say goodbye.
Thank you. Yeah. We got it.
But yeah, man. Y'all get some food for Royal Rumble. Hopefully it goes in the way that you want. I don't know how you want it, but I hope the Rumble makes you happy, because I know either way it's gonna make me mad, because I think I'm gonna get mad either way with this damn company. So we're gonna see what happens. But y'all be safe. If you're near the snow, don't go in the snow. Don't drive in the snow. It's not a good thing. Don't do that. Don't.
If I wanted to be a part of my friend's house for the Rumble, I would have had to have driven, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours ago, because the snow actually started at 8 p.m. tonight for me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be snowing the entire time. So until actually Monday. So we'll see how we'll see how much snow is going to be at my doorstep tomorrow.
I hear the salt trucks, so I know that's not good. I know it's mad snow outside if I hear the salt trucks.
Yeah.
I hear them now.
So.
Y'all be good, though. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you guys soon. 2:00.
Yeah.
Peace out. We the ones.